And ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time, indie pro wrestler, goes by the name of Shawn Reed, and he's joining me right now. Good evening, Shawn.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing real good, and thank you for being on the show on days' notice.
Yeah, I appreciate you letting me come on, man.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. And how did your wrestling career begin?
Originally started about 12 years ago. I was doing MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, down in Mississippi, where I'm originally from. And one of the guys that I was training with, his father used to be a professional wrestler in Texas. He went by the name of Soldier. When his dad started a wrestling school, I was the first student.
Do you remember the first wrestling match you ever had? And if so, who was your opponent and what company did you work for at the time?
My very first match, I was booked for a company that is called Golden Triangle Wrestling. They are defunct now. It was a little dark match. It was probably one of the worst wrestling matches of my entire career. I wrestled a guy by the name, I really don't even remember his name, but we went out there. Like I said, we wrestled at Dave Lavender Coliseum. It was probably 5 minutes, and it was hot garbage. It was terrible.
And in this match particular, were you nervous, or did you get any sign that your opponent was nervous?
Oh, I was petrified. I mean, petrified. I mean, there was probably 400 or 500 people there. My very first match, I was beyond scared.
It takes a lot of guts just to at least do what you do for a living, and that being your first time, it had to be considered like a learning experience.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, every time you go out there is a learning experience, though. I mean, you never quit learning. You always.
All right. For those who just tuning in, you're listening to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio right here on itmiradio.com. I am joined with Shawn Reed, indie pro wrestler. You have worked for Chicago Wrestling. Am I correct?
Yes.
Obviously, people think of Chicago. You think of Ring of Honor. Y'all kind of similarities, fast-paced wrestling. What's it like working with Chicago Wrestling?
It is hands down one of the best experiences ever. We went up there. I've been up there twice. Both times, I mean, it's just the amount of talent they have in the locker room. I mean, and when you walk back there and just get the feedback from all those guys who have been everywhere you want to be, I mean, it's just a feeling you can't even describe.
I have had a chance to watch some Chicago matches, mostly on YouTube, and just the fast pace, the adrenaline, the competitive nature of these matches is just off the charts. I just wonder if Chicago is on national television. I know Ring of Honor, obviously WWE, TNA is, but Chicago needs to be on national television. They need to be on the big stage, at least given an opportunity to show what they can do, because it's wrestling that fans out there can be part of. At least that's how I feel.
Oh yeah. I mean, a lot of people would tell you, oh, Chicago, they go out there, they do a lot of flips and wear masks. But, I mean, if you sit back and watch it, I mean, it is some of the best wrestling that you're going to watch. Mike Quackenbush, who, is the head trainer up there, I mean, he trains most of these guys. And, I mean, and a lot of those guys deserve contracts with TNA, WWE, and they're finally getting those shots. You have Antonio Cesaro, you had Jigsaw, who's been on TNA quite a bit. Sabian, he's been on TNA quite a bit. I mean, you have a lot of guys that finally letting showcase the talent that people are missing out on.
I gotta say, Cesaro especially, he's definitely becoming a standout for WWE. He's the current U.S. champion, and he's already a very talented wrestler as it is, but I wasn't aware of his strength. I mean, when you see him lift Great Khali not once but twice, yeah, I'm just like, oh my goodness, this
right
for him. And Khali's a big dude, and for him to lift him up the way that he did, is unbelievable. But he's more than just a strong dude. I mean, he's a talented wrestler. I got a lot of respect for the dude. Um, do you have any upcoming wrestling shows, appearances you would like to promote, Shawn?
Right now, we have my tag partner and I, Andrew Palmer. We're doing a tag team known as Whiteout. It is a playoff of Blackout that runs in, New Jersey, Philly, and all that area. We're running our show in Raymer, Tennessee, called SPWA. We will be on it this Saturday night. So if you're in the Tennessee area, come on out and support it. It'll be our last one there. After that, we'll be starting to work in Ripley, Tennessee, for a promotion called RCW. We're really excited about going up there.
Who do you consider as influences in your wrestling career?
I mean, when I was a kid, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, probably my two favorites growing up. I mean, I would watch anything with them in it. Ric Flair could go out there and have a match with a broomstick and make it look good, the old saying. Shawn Michaels, again, he just did that fast catch-can style, and I loved it. When I actually got into the business and got a little older, guys like Chris Hero, Cassizono now, Cesaro, Quackenbush, Kevin Steen, Generico, all these guys have been big influence ever since I got into the wrestling business. I mean, I really don't watch a whole lot of TV programming anymore. I mean, I record it and watch a little bit here and there, but I watch more of the indies like ROH, PWG, Chikara, Evolve, Dragon Gate USA, stuff like that.
And who do you consider like some of your favorite matches, or better yet, favorite people you like working with, male wrestling wise?
I got to work with Tim Dunce in Chikara the one time I went up there, and it was fantastic. I mean, he is a phenomenal worker. And then when at that point in time, he was really green, so and he's just evolved a whole bunch since then. There's quite a few guys at this show here in Raymer that I'm working with, Cody Dean, Ricky Smith, Corey Daniels, Andrew Palmer, my tag partner. I mean, those guys are real young. They're really good. They just need some exposure, get their names out. I wrestled with Ricky Morton. I mean, how can you not mention a name like that? He's a legend in the business. There's just so many guys, legends that I've wrestled with. But in my personal opinion, anytime I can get in the ring with someone younger than me that I can help, because, they're going to keep this business going once I get out, it's my favorite thing to do.
For fans out there that wants to get in touch with you, social media wise, why don't you go ahead and promote your Twitter or any other links people need to know?
Yes, they can definitely follow me on Twitter. Any kind of promotion wants to get a hold of me on there, it's Shawn Reed 3, SHAWNREED, and the number 3. Holler at me there. I would love to work any and everywhere that I can. So just feel free to contact me, and we'll work some arrangements out.
Did you by any chance got a chance to see CM Punk's promo from this past Monday night by any chance?
Yes, I did.
Obviously, there's a lot of controversy, and CM Punk loves to stir the pot. I mean, he's a talented wrestler himself. Did you think that maybe he went a little too far with some of the comments he made, or you thought that's CM Punk?
Me personally, I don't think he went far with it at all. That's, like you said, that's CM Punk. If you watch a lot of his stuff from the indies like Mid-South and when he did ROH, I mean, that obviously it was a whole lot tamer than what he used to do on the indies. But I mean, you have a guy out there like The Rock who is he's going to get his stuff in. So you've got to get yours in too. You take jabs just like he's going to take jabs.
All I know is I'm looking forward to Punk versus Rock. That's definitely going to be a good one at the Royal Rumble. So what do you consider as the highlight of your wrestling career? One thing that stands out, like a match or a storyline angle or a championship you may have won. What do you consider as the biggest highlight of your wrestling career?
I have two different highlights. The first one would be wrestling King of Trios 2009. We were doing the Southern Saints, myself, Marcus O'Neill, and Reno Diamond. We wrestled Team Japan, which consisted of Kudo, Susumu, and Miyawaki. It's hands down probably one of my favorite matches in my 12 years of wrestling. My second favorite angle that I ever did, I was known as the He-Man woman hater, Shawn Reed, where I went to promotion, wrestling different women. I did an angle where I would, women didn't belong in a wrestling ring; they belonged in the kitchen, and I tried to put them back in their place. And I mean, it was just an easy heat getter. I mean, I just loved doing that angle.
So, what would your advice be to anyone out there that wants to pursue their career as a professional wrestler? What would your advice be?
Find the best trainer that you can. Around in my area that I'm from in Tennessee, there's only two guys that I would even recommend, and that would be Kevin White's school and Nightmare Ken Wayne's School of Wrestling. The guys who have been to where you want to go, that have connections to get you to places. And, I mean, find a trainer that has been there, because if you just go get any Joe Schmo, indie guy, I mean, myself included, off the street, I can't guarantee you, hey, I can get you to TNA or I can get you to WWE or I have these connections with OVW. But, guys like Ken Wayne, tagged with Danny Davis for years, he can call Danny and say, hey, I got a guy down here, he's really good. How about letting him come up to OVW? And, that's TNA's training ground now. So,
at this point of your wrestling career, what are some other goals that you would like to set for yourself? And do you still see yourself maybe one day going to WWE, TNA, or Ring of Honor, or are you just mainly focusing more on the indie scene in Chicago?
Don't get me wrong. I mean, if WWE or TNA came calling, obviously that's everybody's goal. But my personal goal would be to get back to Chikara, get into Ring of Honor, Dragon Gate USA, Evolve, Resistance Pro, WG. A lot of the bigger known indie companies is what my goal is right now. I'd love to go to Europe. I'd love to go to Japan as well. But, my personal philosophy, you got to start small and work big. So right now it's just getting on these larger indie shows in the U.S., then go bigger from there.
What do you like the most of being a professional wrestler? You like being on the road? You like the fan interaction, being in a match, hanging with your peers in the locker room? What do you like the most of being a professional wrestler?
The road trips are always the best. I mean, they're the absolute best. I mean, we would go to Philadelphia, 12-hour trip. I mean, you can't have much more fun than that. Getting in the ring with, your buddies or stuff, before shows and training and working out, being in the back with all your buddies and just, BSing around, having a good time. I mean, that's, the camaraderie is what makes it in this business. I mean, you're always going to make friends, you're going to make enemies, but, the friends you do make, keep them close, because, I mean, that's all you're going to have once you finally quit and all that. That's what you're going to keep from this, is the memories and the friends.
And again, people, you can follow Shawn Weed on Twitter at ShawnWeed83. That's ShawnReed 83. Shawn, thank you so much for joining me on the show this evening. And again, thank you for being on the show on a day's notice. Best of success goes out to you and Andrew, and this year going forward. And you tell Andrew I will be interested in interviewing him someday.
All right, man. I sure will.
All right. Thank you for your time. You have a good night.
You too, man. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye. That was Shawn Weed joining me here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.